What's up, everybody? Welcome to episode 215 of Tell It How It Is, No Filter. I'm your host, Voice of Reason. Happy Mother's Day. Let's get that out the way. Another man-made thing, but nonetheless, some man-made things serve purpose. The real authentic moms out there know that their job is every day, 365, 24/7. Do they really need recognition on a day? The real ones. I'm talking about, the ones who they know what their mission is, they know what their goals are, they know what needs to be done, and they do it daily. Do you really need recognition on said day? If anything, ever so often, I won't even plan it to say every week, every 3 days, but as a kid, even grown-ups, because if your parents are still alive, this is all across the board. So everybody who parents are alive, even if they aren't, you can take a random moment to just say thank you. It's not about Happy Mother's Day and gifts and thank you. If they're on their job, they did their job, they're still doing their job. Thank you. That's what I got. Just thank you. So I'll say Happy Mother's Day to be politically correct. But this moment is to say to the real ones, thank you. Eric Marlon Bishop. You don't know who that is? AKA Jamie Foxx. I gotta be honest, it's hard unless you really research. I don't know what the hell's going on. Conditions are not quite clear. What I have for you definite is that he was working on a Netflix film called Back in Action when he was hospitalized. I mean, this is probably over a month now. You got media saying one thing about ICU possibly on life support. You got his relatives, I don't know if that was his daughter, I think, saying he home. None is really confirming that he's good, but it's just too much with that. But I'm going to still send my prayers and hope that he's all right. Get well, Jamie Foxx. Hope things are improving. Jordan Neely died last week on a subway after being placed in a chokehold. We know this story already. I'm late. I don't really want to do current events like that. Sometimes I gotta voice an opinion upon it. So this is a guy, and if you are a heavy subway rider, you know these type of people. I'm not singling him out. It can get annoying. They coming around. You don't really necessarily have to be on the subway itself, just in the stations, by the station, by local stores that's near a station. This is around across the board with no matter where you at. It can get irritating after a while because you know what? We are selfish in a way, and this is probably a selfish way of thinking. But if we grind hard, we get up every day, pay our bills, take care of our loved ones, and it's not easy. And it's not comfortable either. And we don't have excess money to just throw in, you know what I mean? So we doing that, and it's still, barely making it for some of us. So to see them just begging and just around, I get it. There's less fortunate situations. Shit happens. You have to have an open mind. You don't really know what happened. All of them are not full of shit. All of them are not just lazy. Some got dealt a bad hand. It's hard to pick out who's really authentic in that versus who's just lazy and just trying to come up. So either or, not to ramble on, it gets annoying. That does not justify this. So he was a 30-year-old street artist who imitated MJ. So he had some entertainment. You know what I'm saying? He was entertaining the crowd. They said he was placed on a list of homeless people identified as having dire needs. I would assume that if you're homeless, you are in need, right? I'm not trying to be funny, but what does that mean? What the fuck? Who that's homeless that's not in dire needs? Anyway, so I guess the straw that broke the camel's back was he started screaming and shouting that he's hungry and had little to live for. I guess that, was irritating to a said passenger or two. I won't say everyone in the car, in the subway car, agreed with this, but then again, nobody intervened. So he was choked by a passenger, Daniel Penny, who's a Marine veteran. So you kind of go back to the psychological of this. I'm not justifying it. A Marine veteran who probably had to put in a lot of work. And I don't know where he is in life right now, if he's financially set or not. You know what I mean? So I don't know if something snapped in his head or he just was having a bad day, you know? By the way, the mugs are back. Don't think for a second the merch is not still on deck. If you need a mug, if you need a hat, whatever, hit me up. How you stop him 35 at Gmail. HOWU stop him 35 at gmail.com. It's going to be in the timestamps. Also, like, comment, subscribe. Like, comment, subscribe. I need that algorithm. I need minutes watched, hours watched. Support the podcast. If anything on here has helped you, if anything on here makes sense, support. Not talking financial. I didn't even get to that because I have the capabilities to do live and get super chats and people could donate money. I'm not even on that wave yet. I just need the simple like, comment, subscribe. Let's get these subscribers up. Let's get them shares up. I appreciate it. Back to it. So this Marine veteran on this, I don't know if he set out to cause harm when he woke up, but something was triggered, and so Jordan Neely's life, young guy, is ended. The court and all those proceedings have taken place, I believe. I don't know if they come to an agreement. I don't feel like checking. I just know that's manslaughter at the minimum. And I get it. We have to draw the line. Like, I understand it being irritating, but these people really have nowhere else to go. The shelters is probably overpacked, and it's not really beneficial because, I used to work security for shelter. That shit is like jail. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't put nothing down. It could be a fight every day. It's real brutal in those environments. You know what I mean? The shelter system definitely needs repair. So, that's that. You want me to quickly shout through the basketball shit. So, the Final Four, well, we don't have a Final Four. Lakers took the champs out. Denver took Phoenix out. Miami took New York out. Shout out to New York. I'm not a Knicks fan, but to get out of the first round and make it interesting in the second round, I have to give a shout out for Go Knicks for the fans. That's our diehard New York Knicks fans. Go Knicks for y'all. So Miami, and we're waiting on, well, when you see this, we know the outcome. By the time you see this, we know who the fourth team is. But for now, I'm just going to say Lakers, Denver, Miami. They're trying to say, let's repeat that bubble. If you remember the chip with the bubble with the Lakers, that's the four teams. It was Lakers, Denver, Boston, Miami. They're trying to see if that repeats itself. I'm all for that, and that's it. Pet peeve of the week. Women with manly hands. And when I say that, I don't really mean the shape itself. Even if you don't get a fancy, expensive manicure, it's important how your hands look outside moisturizing and all that. So what I'm saying is, the chicks, that rough shit, they bite their fingers, they chewing at it. It's just, come on, we could fix that, ladies. We could fix that. I know, you could throw the shots back at men. Men, you should get a manicure, pedicure. I'm not talking about gels and shit on there. Whatever, man. Just a simple manicure and pedicure men should do, I feel like once a month. Cool, if you want to throw that at us. But women, your hands and fingers, that should look womanly. You know what I mean? Again, you ain't got to spend $300-400. I be hearing how much it costs to maintain that. But the femininity, it's important how your hands look, ladies. I know you wash your hands, moisturize your hands. What are you going to tell me? Some who work in the construction field or who do real manual labor, because women are coming up in that department. I'm not going to lie. But still, we gotta get the hands and the fingers, you know. I don't even want to go into like creep mode to say, you know, another reason intimately why how your hands look matter. You know what I'm saying? But for real, ladies, let's check that. Let's do something about that. I'm not saying perfection. Again, it's not about the money. But you gotta, I don't know, soak them shits in something, yo. Them shits looking real rough. I seen a couple in the past. I'm very disappointed. Very disappointed. Keep them hands. I don't want to see how the feet look. I didn't even touch on that. Because if your hands look like that, ladies, how does your feet look? And some could argue back that they make sure their feet good. They probably go there and just get the pedicure. I don't know what the fuck's going on. But I know that 9 times out of 10, if that's what your hands look like, I don't want to see your feet. And the feet is an even more important feature that must be intact for ladies. Must be. It's unacceptable. Grown women. I'm not talking about teenagers and down. Because even then it should be some kind of caterance to that to make sure your child, if they're not of age, that you are taking care of that, parents. But the grown ones, grown folks, I'm not trying to hear that. Get that together. You hear me? Can I jump into this before I cut it for part 2? Women's happiness is more important in a relationship than the man's. Let's change that mindset and narrow the gap in that percentage per se. Now, is that all cases? No. But I know the world teaches us that. Tradition, that's not traditional. My bad. That is so not traditional. Could I argue that it is? Here's the thing. You get what you get, right? Nothing's guaranteed. There are still roles to be played. So men, our adversity is our strength. So all the rough patches and whatever shit we go through to try to achieve greatness, try to be successful, you know what I mean? You know, whatever we have in mind to be great. We go through shit, we make bad choices, shit pops off. So I say all of that to say you really are not gonna get moral support, mental support, unless you're doing something amazing. You're doing something amazing and you've gotten over the hump. So on your journey to the hump to get over it, you may not get no love. So I don't know. If you're in a relationship, that depends on what's going on in your life at said time of relationship. This might get a little twisted for you. Stay with me. Stay with me. If you're not over the hump and achieved greatness before that relationship, while you're in a relationship trying to figure your shit out, and a lot of people are criticized if you watch YouTube or other channels, and other people will tell you you shouldn't even be in a relationship if your shit not together. I don't always agree with that, but I can see the benefits of that being there. If you are at greatness, you've taken care of a lot of shit, that's cool to enter a relationship with less worries. Absolutely. Can you predict when you will meet the right one? What does the right one look like? And do you think that this world and life and timing and situations always line up together? Always? No. So I'm not telling you to be a total bum and go look for your partner. But you may meet your partner on your journey to greatness. So you shouldn't eliminate them because your shit ain't all together right. Now, 2 people who shit ain't all together right is not necessarily a bad thing in my eyes. Because if y'all both motivated, that energy y'all can feed off each other and become great. So I don't want to hear that that's the only one way to look at things. But we need to narrow the gap. Narrow the gap that a man's happiness is important as well. Somehow, some way. May not be a list of things like with the woman. A woman, guys, you may have to have a checklist to make sure shit is straight. Fellas, our shit is simple, right? But it helps. The little bit helps. Just some type of reminder, some type of reassurance, something at a random time. It kind of goes with what I said back with the Mother's Day thing. You know, a mother that's on her job, give her flowers ever so often. I feel like the man in a relationship that's doing all that he can while still trying to achieve greatness should get his flowers randomly at different types of times. You know what I'm saying? Not nothing scheduled. Just let him know, hey, I see you. You know what I mean? So let's get out of this narrative of woman's happiness is the only thing that matters, or let's just focus in on that. Yes, it's heavy. So I would never say 50-50. They do get a higher percentage. In my eyes. That's my opinion. They do. But let's not downplay the importance of men's happiness in relationships. It's a two-way street. See you soon.